This is Grizzly 399. For years, people came to Grand Teton hoping to see her. She became so familiar that even a warning with her name felt different. For an unknown grizzly, many visitors said they would leave. For 399, they were more willing to stay. The danger had not changed, the reaction had. So how did a wild bear begin to feel like someone people knew? That story began beside the roads of Grand Teton. 399 often searched for food nearby. Cars stopped, windows came down, cameras came up, and she kept walking. Over time, she often seemed unbothered by people. Biologists call it habituation. It did not make her tame, but it could make an extraordinary sight feel almost ordinary. A wild grizzly stood close to people, and the whole scene looked calm. Most wild bears vanish into the landscape. 399 drew a crowd. Photographers planned trips around her. People around the world followed each new cub. At times, rangers managed traffic simply so she could pass. Watching her so closely made people care about her. It also made her feel less like a wild animal they might encounter once. She became a familiar face whose life they already knew. Then, researchers showed park visitors different versions of the same warning. They asked what each visitor would do. Some warnings named "No Bear." One named Grizzly 399. That name changed the answer. Visitors were much more willing to stay when the warning was about her. People who already knew 399 were the least likely to leave. The study could not say why. Maybe they hoped for a glimpse of her. Maybe a familiar bear simply felt safer. Either way, the warning sounded different once it carried her name. By then, familiarity had been building for years. In 2021, 399 stepped into view. 4 cubs followed behind her. 2 years later, she appeared with another. It was her 18th known offspring. It also made her the oldest mother ever recorded in Greater Yellowstone. People were not meeting her story for the first time. They had watched her family grow for almost 2 decades. In October 2024, a vehicle struck and killed 399 in Snake River Canyon. The collision happened about 65 kilometers or 40 miles south of Grand Teton. She had spent years living near roads where people could see her. Living near roads also exposed her to traffic. She was one of dozens of known grizzlies lost to vehicles across the region. Her yearling had been traveling with her. It was not found at the scene. There was no sign it had been struck. Biologists believed it could survive on its own, so they did not plan to capture it. Did it survive? At the last official update, no one could say. 399's ashes were returned to Pilgrim Creek. She had spent much of her life there. She had lived longer than almost any known grizzly in the region. Her fame gave people far beyond the park a reason to care. But familiarity could also make a warning feel less urgent. It changed how people saw 399. It could not make the roads safer. If you enjoyed this story, a like helps it reach more people. Subscribe if you don't want to miss the next one.